What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, I'll be saying the worst team from every continent, worst national team. It's just based on world rankings, so not opinion based, but those be interesting mainly just because I wanted to see it myself, so I thought I may as well make a video on it. So yeah, I'll say the team and then say a bit about them. Also, continents, the confederations, whatever, AFC, UEFA, CONMEBOL, all that stuff. Asia, Guam. Bit of a random one. Didn't even know Guam had a football team. To be honest, didn't really even know Guam. Guam actually isn't a country. It turns out. I did some research. It's like a U.S. overseas territory, but it has a national football team. So, yeah, they rank 203rd in the world. I think there's like 209 teams or something. Their highest ranking is actually 146. So previously they've been there. Their lowest is 207. So only four less than they currently are. And 2024, they played 4 games with one win against Macau, who I'm not sure if they're even AFC affiliated, a draw versus Northern Mariana Islands, and 2 losses versus Hong Kong and Northern Mariana Islands. I don't think any of those teams, apart from Hong Kong, but I don't think the other two are like AFC affiliated or anything, because otherwise surely they'd be in this. And yeah, they've never been to the World Cup. Obviously, they've also never been to the Asia Cup. So not really surprising, to be honest, from Guam. Next up is Africa. I've gone with Somalia. Well, I haven't gone with it's Somalia, ranked 202 in the world, so one better than Guam. So maybe we need to set up a match there. But their highest ever ranking is actually 65, back in 1996. So that's pretty good. And their lowest 203 in 2019, only one less than they currently are. So they're pretty much at the worst they've ever been. 2024, they played 4 games. They had a draw versus Eswatini and then 3 losses versus Eswatini, Mozambique, and Botswana, who are all like Africa, like national teams, not like Guam, who are playing like sort of regional teams or whatever. Like these guys are all like CAF affiliated. They've never been to the World Cup, obviously. Also, never been to AFCON. But yeah, they're the worst in Africa. Next up, North Central America. It's Anguilla. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but yeah, ranked 209, one of the worst in the world. Might even be the worst. So yeah, not very good for them. The highest ever ranking though was 189 and 97. So a lot of these teams peaked in the late 90s for some reason. Their lowest 210. But I believe one of the teams, I think it's Eritrea, got kicked off the rankings or something. So they're actually the bottom they could be, but they used to be 210 in the rankings, something like that, because they were 210th 2 times in 2019 and 2022. 2024, they did play 10 games, however. They had a win versus Turks and Caicos, 3 draws versus St. Martin, and 2 against Turks and Caicos, and 6 losses versus Turks and Caicos again. So they've played them 4 times in 2024. Then they lost twice to Belize, once to Puerto Rico, Suriname, and St. Martin. So yeah, they put a bunch of sort of random teams. Most of them aren't actually like FIFA affiliated or whatever. They've never been to the World Cup, obviously, and they've also never been to the CONCACAF Gold Cup. I think that's what it's called. But they do have quite a nice jersey, to be honest. Next up, South America, the most competitive one. It's Bolivia. Um, these guys are the highest ranked in the whole video. They're ranked 79th. So in Oceania, that'd make them the best team, which is kind of crazy because the worst in South America, they'd be the best in Oceania. Um, but yeah, they're ranked 79th right now. Their highest ever ranking was 18 back in 97. So again, another team that peaked in the late 90s. But their lowest was 115 in 2011. So they've gone up quite a bit in the last sort of 15 years since then. Played 14 games in 2024. 4 wins, including against Chile and Colombia. A draw versus Paraguay, and then 9 losses. And they've actually been to 3 World Cups in 1994, 1950, and 1930. And they also won the Copa America in 1963, and they were the runners-up in 97, so that's when they became 18th in the rankings. I guess that was before the rankings happened when they actually won it. But yeah, they're actually not very bad. Like, again, like they're like miles better than every single other team in this video. Like, all the other teams in this video are bang average teams that, like, half their players work second jobs. As these guys are fully professional. They beat Chile and Colombia. Like, they're not a bad team. They just happen to be in the most competitive continent that only has about 10 national teams anyway. So yeah, unfortunate for Bolivia, I guess. Next up, Oceania, my continent. It's Tonga. Um, Rank 199th, which isn't actually too bad, to be honest, being ranked 199th, at least they're in the hundreds. But their highest ever ranking was 163, also in 1998. So I don't know why every team just peaked in the late 90s. Was that when like the rankings were introduced and they've all just fell off since then? But for some reason they all peaked then. The lowest 211, 2018 and 2019. So I guess that would mean they were the worst or something like that. 2024 played 4 games. They got 1 win versus the Cook Islands and 3 losses, 2 against Samoa and another one against the Cook Islands. So they won 1, lost 3 last year. Pretty good result. Not pretty good, but all right. I believe there was like Oceania Cup qualifiers or something. They've never been to the World Cup. They've also never been to the Oceania Cup, which is kind of surprising because I kind of thought everyone made that because there's not very many teams in Oceania. So I kind of thought everyone just made that tournament, or at least like most of them do. But they've actually never made the OFC Cup, which kind of surprises me for some reason. I don't know. I just thought they would have. Next up is Europe, probably the most well-known team in this video. It's San Marino. Um, this one, I mean, we all know San Marino, don't we? They're ranked 210th, so they're actually the worst current team, I believe. But I mean, we should organize some games. Like all of these teams, maybe apart from Bolivia, have a little mini tournament. Guam, Somalia, Anguilla, Tonga, San Marino have a little mini tournament. The worst from each continent. Not Bolivia though, because they'd obviously just beat them all. But yeah, San Marino's highest was actually 118 in 93. So they've all peaked between 93 and 98. I don't know how that's possible, but yeah, they all just have peaked in the mid to late 90s. Their lowest was 211 in 2018-19, and then another time 2022-2023. And they played 10 games last year, including 2 wins. Their first 2 competitive wins against Liechtenstein, who they should be the worst team in Europe now. Like San Marino on the run now. They also got 2 draws versus Gibraltar and St. Kitts and Nevis. Oh yeah, they played them in one of those. They like invited them to try and get a win, but they drew and lost one. But they should do that with like Guam or something. Like get a Guam versus San Marino match going. And they lost 6 times last year as well. Obviously, never been to the World Cup in the Euros, but still, all I'm saying is we got to get a little mini tournament going on here. All right, like just do it, or at least maybe not these teams, but some of the worst teams. Like get San Marino versus Samoa, Tonga. Liechtenstein. Get them in there. Then get Anguilla in there. Then get like I know that some of the other teams in North America. Then you can get Guam and get Somalia and get some of the other not so good African national teams. Just get. We need a tournament like a World Cup with the worst teams. Like that's what I'm thinking. Like look at the rankings, the worst 32 teams, 48 teams. Just whack them in the World Cup and see what happens. And that's what I think. To be honest, that'd be so fun. Honestly. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed it. I guess. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.